What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Crypto Kindness channel. My name is Jeff, and I'm happy that you're here today. We're going to talk, we're going to spend the morning talking about Titan Talk, Monday morning Titan Talk. I like it. Kind of has a ring to it. Maybe we'll make it a regular thing. We're supposed to have a guest on this morning, Crypto Profeta, but a little bit of a miscommunication on my part. And we're going to have to reschedule that. So we'll talk about some of the stuff he and I was going to talk about this morning also. But got some pretty cool tools I want to share with you. Picked up some new information this weekend on cryptographics boot class, master class on TitanX. Got some pretty bullish information to share with you, kind of just things that are happening in TitanX right now. But before we dive into all of that, real quick, 10-second, I have a favor to ask of you. YouTube analytics show me that still only about 28% of the people that watch these live streams and my tutorials are actually clicking the subscribe button. The goal of my channel is to help you learn the tools and tricks necessary to be successful in this next crypto bull market. And how I do that is I invite experienced crypto people, crypto founders onto my channel and interview them and have them tell me what I need to learn. And then I teach that information to you all. And the number one metric they look at when I send out an invite to come onto my channel is how many subscribers does my channel have? Because they want to know what their reach is going to be for the time that they spend. So to help me help you, please take 1 second and just click that subscribe button. It is free and it only takes a second. So boop, subscribe. Everybody's happy. Thank you very much for listening there. And thank you for being here. If you're new to my channel, it's called Crypto Kindness for a reason. Everything is welcome on this channel. You can ask silly questions. You can ask questions about, anything. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be nasty to you. I'm not going to call you names. The only thing that is required is kindness. There's no need to be nasty in the chat to anybody else. You will be removed very quickly. I do not tolerate that. So with that being said, what am I excited about this morning? Well, oh yeah, you see this Zen crypto hat? First of all, it's fat like ham bone. I really like this. Good looking colors on me and stuff like that. But we have a new option today, ladies and gentlemen. And this is part of my bullish sentiment for the morning. I'm going to share something with you that, to be perfectly honest with you, is shocking to me. But nothing is shocking when there's green candles. So let's take a look here, and I'm going to share my Twitter account with Marco the Hexagon. Now, if you haven't been in the Hex community, congratulations, you've missed out on a lot of high school like drama. But this gentleman, Marco the Hexagon, is a devout, diehard Richard Hart guy. And, that's awesome. I think he's done really well, and I'm happy for him. He never talks about anything other than Hex or PulseChain. And check this tweet out. Boom. Right here. Trevon, who is hilarious, put out a tweet a while ago. It says, "What crypto opinion will you have that will basically have everybody pointing a gun at you?" And this was Marco's response: that TitanX is a diamond. What? Stop traffic. I'm also going to be a TitanX maxi going forward. Holy crap. With my Hex PulseX maxis as well. If you call yourself a Hex OG or a Zen OG and you hate Titan, then you never understood what you were holding in the first place. Now, that statement alone is so spot on. If you're a Hex OG or a Zen OG and you somehow hate TitanX, then you must not understand what you hold with Hex or Zen. Like it's just kind of a modified, better version of those two things. Call it what it is, right? So, but yeah, let's go back to this tweet because it even gets better. They can all coexist. Yes, they can coexist. They can actually help each other out. Of course they can. And if you haven't figured out the best part yet, I know how to do this very thing, and I did. PulseChain is 100% key. Still very bullish on PulseChain. He is, as so am I. But anyway, this is kind of the carrot he drops. I bet I'm buying more PulseX, Hex, and Pulse every 8 days than you are. Why is he saying 8 days? Well, because he's maximizing the staking payouts. So that's pretty cool. But what I was saying earlier about the hat, Marco the Hexagon has He makes some really, really nice hex hats, and take a look at this. Not going to lie, this is sweet. He has put out a TitanX hat, which is going to be ordered by Crypto Kindness. So this is really sweet. If you want to take a look at it, you can visit his Twitter page, which is at Marco the Hexagon, I think. I double check that before Marco the Hexagon. And maybe we'll see how we can get some of those hats. Pretty cool stuff. So that to me is just, it's bullish, because there's a lot of people I never expect to see change. And there you go. So more bullish information to share, but we've got some people I want to say hello to in the chat. As always, thank you for being here. Tell me where you're from. One of my favorite things is seeing how many corners of the world we can touch while we're on these streams together. And it's always fun to hear where you all are coming from today. So let's see. Schmiz, thank you for being here this morning. Schmiz asks, is there a ranking system for TitanX holders, whale, shark, crab, etc.? The ranking systems are kind of all the same. Like if you want to be a whale, you got to own, I don't know if it's 1% or 0.1%. If you find any ranking system out there, you'll see that they're all the same. It's like whale's 1%, shark is 0.1%, dolphin 0.01%, so on and so forth. You can apply that to TitanX because it's kind of an industry standard, if you will. The biggest challenge you're going to have is actually quantifying that, because it's hard to see through like Etherscan. If you look at the top holders, it's hard to see. You can't really see the staked amount. So all you're able to rank it based on is liquid. And if you don't have a lot of liquid TitanX because it's staked, or perhaps it's being created, then it's hard to put yourself into a ranking system. So I think that's why we haven't seen that yet. More than likely, we will see that type of development come in the future, as there's a lot more liquid available. But for now, I think that's your answer. 100x loading. That's a great name. 100x loading. Heck yeah. Let's effing go this morning. Ryan Torres, thank you for being here. TitanX is hands down my favorite crypto in the universe. Wow. Let's see what happens. Can you ask Jake to join? I already did. Let me check my Telegram and see if he acknowledged. Most likely not. Not yet. But if y'all want to blow up Twitter and blow up his Twitter account and say, hey, I'm live and I have my invitation extended, that would be great. Also asking the question, when hyper? We don't know. Jake put out a tweet not long ago saying 2.8 something awesome is going to happen. I don't know. So, there's a lot of people guessing as to what that means. Maybe we get the TitanX white paper on the 28th of December. Maybe TitanX launches on 2.8. What is that? February 8th, February 28th. Lots of different ways that could be taken. We don't know. And I wouldn't focus too much on hyper. I mean, it's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to focus on hyper, but just continue, stay the course until you have new information. And while we know that information is coming and it's easy to want to get excited about that, until that white paper is out, don't plan for something, because you never know. There's going to be a lot of audits happening, and he could put out the white paper and say, well, it's going to be out in 30 days. And then the audit comes back with some sort of critical bug and it needs to be addressed. And so then it's like, oh, okay, well, then it's 45 days or what now? So don't I know there's a lot of excitement about it, and I share your sentiment, but yes, I got to kind of reel it in a little bit. One thing that Jake has done a very good job of, and I expect to be the same with Hyper, is not giving a date or a time until he's 100% sure that can happen. He has delivered on all of his deliverables on all of the times without delay. I expect that to be the same. I am in his group, and one of the things that was a long-running joke was how atrociously bad several of these sacrifice projects have been with deliverables on, oh, we're going to deliver it this time. We're going to do this, what was it? 9inch said 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 months, like 4 months later it launched, and he doesn't want to be that guy. So the one thing I am confident in is once we have a date, that date will happen. That's as much as I can say about that. X Factor says, welcome Marco the Titan. Heck yeah, man. That's cool. He's probably going to get like some love from Twitter today. He's not even going to know why. I don't think he likes me. I don't know. Hello from Paris, France. Bonjour. Well, bonjour, say. Thank you for being here this morning. And I'm honestly not going to try to say this name because I will probably screw it up. But now that I said that, I'm going to try anyway. Garange. See, told you. Sorry, man. One more question. Do you think if someone gets in on staking around the 90-day mark with 500 million to 1 billion TitanX, would the shares be too difficult for any decent 8 and 28-day payout? I'm from the UK, Scotland. Hey, man, we don't need to guess on that. We have tools. So let's use some of them. Let's do this together. So you're saying 500 million to a billion. I'm going to go over to the TitanX website. We'll just do it together. Of course, everything is subject to change. That's the one thing, of course, we have to always keep in mind. But tools, calculator. The second tab is staking, and you said 500 million to a billion. So let's just do 750 million to split the difference. 750 million. One of the key components to your question, which needs to be specified, is your time period. If you're going to do a stake length of max or 2888, those are the maximum numbers of shares you're going to get for those time periods. And that significantly impacts your share rate and therefore your payout amount. So if, the first question I'm going to ask you is, well, how long are you going to stake for? So if you're going to stake for like a month, that's far less return. So see here, 30 days. The return on 30 days is 26.19% ROI. And keep in mind that ROI is based on today's known factors. That is subject to change. If we do a max term, 3,500, you don't have to do a full 3,500. The minimum amount of days for a max term stake is 2888. It's just easier to click the max button. You will see that your ROI jumps up to 113.9%. As we get closer to day 90, there's obviously going to be a lot more TitanX staked at that period of time. So your shares will be different than what we see here. But you can simply play with these numbers. Now, the one thing I like to point out in this calculation, however, which is very important, is it's only calculating one day 8 payout. This ROI doesn't include the next one or the next one. And then it's also only including one 28-day payout, which isn't inclusive of the next one or the next one. So when you look at this information on the dashboard, it's important to realize that this is really just a snapshot. It's just a snapshot of what's going to happen in the immediate future. If you're staking for 2888 or 3,500 days, you could very quickly get significantly more than 113% ROI. However, you have to play with these numbers yourself, because as we get closer to that 90 days, there's going to be a lot more Titan staked. Your share of the pool might be smaller. We don't know how much ETH is going to be in the pool. That's something we're going to dive into here in a little bit anyway. There's so many variables at hand that, my little demonstration to you right now is not going to be applicable in 7 minutes, much less 45 days. So you got to play with the numbers and also understand the limitations of the data is provided as you see it here. Great question, though. Thank you for that. All right, I'm already way behind in the questions. We got Germany in the house here. Patrick, thank you for being here. We got Shock saying only the strong hands make it. Absolutely correct. Oh, this is kind of like uplifting and saddening at the same time. Using TitanX to survive my suppressed nation. Well, let's hope it sets you free, my friend. I wish you all the best. Let's see what's happening. TitanX, hello, fellow TitanX peeps. DK Shadow, thank you for being here this morning. Let's see. CryptoKindness, do you think we hit the bottom with Zen on ETH? Let's take a quick sidebar and just take a look. What? Oh, I don't even have one up. Okay, let's do that. There's a lot of variables that go into that, but I'm just going to go to Dex Tools real quick and type in Zen, and we'll take a look. And again, technical timeout. Everything I talk about on this channel is my opinion. There's only one thing in the world I'm actually a 100% expert on. That's my opinion. None of it is financial advice. I just share my thoughts with you to help you formulate your own thoughts and theses around how you want to play these games, if you even want to play these games. So that being said, let us take a look at the Zen chart. All right, here we are on Dex Tools. We're going to type in Zen on ETH. Zen is hovering at a paltry 6058, not keeping up with the price increase that ETH is doing. And that's the biggest challenge right now with Zen, is that it's not keeping up with ETH. And so if you measure it in USDC, it can be deceiving. You might say, oh, my USDC is going up, but your value of ETH is going down, which is bad because you basically exchanged ETH to create Zen, and now the price of ETH is going up and the price of Zen is not. So the asset that you changed to create Zen is actually worth more than it was at the time, and the Zen isn't going up. That's the big challenge right now, is that, my concern just looking at this is that the price of Zen is not keeping up. So we see that the bottom was Ishi right around here, 6029, 60s, yeah, right about 29. And we've hit this level, which seems to be the major support. So I'm going to back this out a little bit more and see. Ooh, that's just not cute. Boy, how far back this? Yeah. Oh, geez. So this line, it's hard to even call it a major support or resistance because it just had never been this low before. But this is where it is. And we can see here that the price has, yeah, this is a pretty significant support resistance line currently. And it's right, the price of Zen is right at this support right now. Let's hope it doesn't flip it to a resistance. But do I think that the bottom is in? I'm not even going to guess at that question because there are so many variables happening. Option one, Jack said recently on a live stream, or not a live stream, but a Twitter Spaces, that X1 will be ready in 60 to 90 days. If that happens, then booyah, the likelihood that Zen goes up is pretty high, especially if he ties some sort of Zen burn to X1. Now, if he is concerned about expectation of profit from the work of others and decides that he doesn't want to risk that, and he does not tie any sort of Zen burn to X1, then I could see the price just completely caving, and it would have been, I don't even want to think about that. So that's my opinion on that. We'll stop talking about that for now. All right. Lots of bullish. I hear a lot of bullish narrative. What's your major concern from TitanX? Sacrifices were a complete mess. Yeah. Hex clips. Titan is a beast. It is, man. It's awesome. And what I'm loving to see even on this here stream is that there's a lot of RH people really starting to acknowledge the power that lies within TitanX. Like we were just talking about with Marco the Hexican's tweet. Like, if you are a holder of Hex or you are a holder of Zen and you're not in TitanX, then you probably don't fully understand what you're holding with Hex and Zen. So let's go back to Pesh's question. I hear a lot of bullish narrative, but what is your major concern with TitanX? Personally, I like to think about all things, not just good things, because if you're only looking at the positive, then you're very susceptible to the negative. I would say, I don't want to like spread FUD or anything, but just it is what it is. There's 400 and some odd thousand. In fact, let's not guess. Let's just look. On the TitanX page, we go to buy and burn and we look at the pools. Wow, an amazing 5,460 ETH sitting in one smart contract and 4,458 ETH sitting in another contract. My biggest concern is that these are hack targets. And so, we know that Jake did 3 audits. He put a lot of time and security in this. My concern level on this is muy poquito. However, it exists. The attack exists. Like rest assured, somebody's already tried to hack this because that's a lot of ETH sitting there. It's a juicy target. So that's probably my biggest concern, is that that gets hacked. Just to be very transparent with you. And if the buy and burn disappears because it gets hacked, then TitanX has some problems, potential problems. I mean, if there's supply and demand, then great, but this would be a bummer. This would be a real bummer. So that's it. That's all the more I'm going to talk about that. But while we have this page up, I do want to share one thing that's kind of cool. I'll zoom in so y'all can see it. For the V2 buy and burn, the cap was recently raised to 1.1 ETH. I know a lot of people were asking to raise it to 2. There's kind of a little bit of a discussion going back and forth. If it's raised up to 2 ETH, then there's a little bit more reward for the user to click the button. Right now at 1.1 ETH, it's still kind of a losing proposition to click the button. You're going to lose some money. So, there's a back and forth on that. I understand both sides. I see why we don't want to make it so tempting for people to click the button, because we don't want to drain out the pool just as people are making money to click the button. But at the same time, you don't want the friction to be so high that nobody clicks the button. There's got to be a healthy somewhere in between. And I'm not the guy that's going to figure that out. That's up to the developer. So hello from Wales. Good morning, Lee. Thank you for being here. Crypto Mom says, smash the likes, fam. Yes, please do that. Yeah, James X, the V2 buy and burn is filling with ETH like crazy. Yeah, I mean, take a look at this. So early on, the FUD surrounding TitanX was that, the V1, it's controlled by Jake, so it's not actually a user call, and all of that was true, by the way, and it still is. But that was the only thing that was upholding the TitanX buy and burn. Now he released V2, which is a smart contract that is just fully audited. Every 5 minutes it can be called. And the V2 has eclipsed the V1 in size pretty quickly. Actually, I think this was only launched, how long ago? I wondered if it says in here. It doesn't say in here. I could figure it out, but I'm not going to spend the time to do that. Let's call it 3 weeks. And it's already got more value in it than the V1. And now the V2 is the only one that's growing. The V1 is done. It's not being fed anymore. So this will slowly burn out over time. V2 is where all of the ETH is going. So in a very short period of time, month, 2 months, who knows? But the V1 will become almost unimportant as V2 continues to grow. Now, that's based on a set of assumptions that people continue mining, because what feeds this is the miners. So if mining doesn't continue, then it comes to a halt. But that's something that we'll get into also here shortly. I've got a lot of stuff I want to share with you, but also a lot of really good questions happening here. So Revo says, like your honest feedback to questions. My question is, after the mine ends, there's a grace period of 7 days. If the price changes at the end of 7 days, will I get the price on the day it's cashed? You will only get the price on the day that you sell. So if you claim a mine and choose not to sell it, then you're waiting for the market forces to change, and the price will change as you wait. So if the price is, for example, let's look at our Dex tools. Here we go. For example, so I'm going to bring up TitanX. Price currently, ooh, it's up a bit. Somebody must be clicking. Clicky. We're going to bring this down to a 15-minute chart so we can dive in a little bit more. Okay, so right now, yeah, we've had a little bit of price action recently. So right now the price is 5076. So if you end a mine, if you claim a miner right now and you choose to sell it, this is the price you're going to get for it. If you choose to wait a couple of days and the price drops down to 606, then that's the price you're going to get for it. So the only thing that claiming your miner does is puts the liquid Titan into your wallet. At that point, it's up to you with what you do with it. If you want to stake it, if you want to just hold it, if you want to sell it, and your selling it is going to be timed by you. You know, you could hold and hope that it goes up, or you could hold and be disappointed if it goes down. Hope that answers your question. Oh man, I'm way behind, guys. So you mean that Zenians that don't get into Titan are dump? Nope. Didn't say that at all. I don't know. Maybe I missed something a little higher up. But yeah. Oh, look at this. Jake is in the crowd here. What's up, Jake? The crowd is calling for you to join me. If you can, hit me up on Telegram and I'll send you a link. If you can't, I also understand that as well. But he's here, ladies and gentlemen. He's not a figment of your imagination. And he will show up on stream again. Although, honestly, wouldn't it be a little bit funny if he never showed up on stream again and just totally pulled a Richard Hart? All right. Sorry, I made myself laugh on that one. That's probably going to pour some salt in somebody's wound. Sorry about this. All right. Sorry for this kind of money. $5 wrench attacks are possible. Potentially. It looks like I'm missing out on some conversations here. This is too funny. What's your personal mining strategy, boomer? Is he talking to me? Am I getting called a boomer? That's freaking hilarious. I don't know. Would also love to have you on my new channel. Potentially. Honest Crypto. I love the name. I mean, we got that going for us, right? Send me a DM on Twitter. My biggest limitation for doing streams with others are the times that I'm available. I'm available at 8:30 in the morning because then I go to work. And that's Eastern time. So there would need to be some flexibility, hopefully, on your end. But what is I'm not sure if you called me a boomer or not. You're going to have to clarify that. It's funny, even if you did. I have a good sense of humor, so don't worry about it. What's my mining strategy? Well, I've shared this before. I call it the kindness strategy because why wouldn't I? It's mine. I do a 1/3 strategy, which is subject to change based on market conditions and data points. But basically, I was fortunate to get in on day one. So most of my miners are on the house at this point. So it does change things a little bit potentially for you. You have to do your own research. I'll give you the tools to do your own research. And what I'm going to tell you is not financial advice. But I do a 1/3 strategy where all of my miners that end, I sell a third to take ETH out of the system. I stake a third because I want to be catching the ETH drips through, and my stakes are all max term. And then I compound with a third, which ultimately means that I still am selling that and I'm turning it into more miners. So keep a little bit of ETH, stake a little bit of TitanX, and create some more TitanX for the future. That's the first 1/3. The second 1/3 is what I do with the compounding mines that I create. So I do a 1/3 strategy there also. 1/3 short term, 1/3 medium term, and 1/3 long term. I've had questions surrounding like, well, how do I define medium term, long term, short term? I'm not going to go into that. You have to do what works for you and use the data available to you to make those decisions. So I would like to, just that's what I'm throwing out there. Make the decision that works for you, that says as far as your short term, medium term, and long term. ideas. All right, what else do we have here? Hello from Thailand. I love it. Dusty Frets, good to have you here this morning. Thank you, and I would love to visit you in Thailand at some point. Frosty Dog, what's up, my man? Good to hear from you this morning. Hopefully you're feeling a little salty today, and by that I mean just got out of the ocean from surfing. Disappointed we're not going to be able to connect here shortly, but it'll come again. All right, we got a super chat coming in. It says, hi there, from Sandrew. Thank you for your generosity. If you had a chance to explore further into the topics we discussed, it's fascinating to see what unfolds when you dive into Arkham. I'm going to be spending some more time on that this afternoon. What he's referring to, anybody that's curious, is if you simply use a tool called Arkham Intelligence to track wallets, you can find some really fascinating things that are happening in the TitanX ecosystem with some of the whales, and when they're mining, when they're claiming, when they're selling, all of this type of stuff. And so that's what he and I are talking to there. But specifically, I have not. So that might be for another stream. But thank you for your generosity as always. Okay, DK Shadow says, I was talking about the buy and burn contract for that kind of money. $5 wrench attacks are not so unlikely. Well, exactly. Wrench attack usually means that somebody shows up on your front door with a wrench and beats the crap out of you to get your seed phrase. Not too worried about that with Jake, honestly. Seems to be able to handle his own. And he's even responding in the comments here. This is great, guys. Jake is on here responding in the comments. So cool. You can ask him questions there too. You got the best of both worlds. I'd say it's better to talk to him than me, but excuse me. All right. So Jake, thanks, brother. You will free tons of people with this. Absolutely. I think this is good. You could change the V2 buy and burn to allow the ETH to be deployed at once and then sell into price pump. Potentially. I mean, there's all sorts of things. Basically, you can see there's always data to support whatever narrative you want to see. If you want to see something negative, you can find data to support that. If you want to see something positive, you can find data to support that as well. What I think is best is to recognize that both exist, see the good, see the bad, and come up with your own conclusions as to what might happen. There's no need to really spend too much time on either one. Just be critical thinking. So one of the other things that I wanted to share today that I thought was really, really cool. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So there was some conversation in our group surrounding a data point that came through this weekend. Apparently somebody sold about $400,000 worth of PulseX and bridged it out of PulseChain and used that money to mine TitanX. And so I'm just going to go into my group real quick. I want to verify this data point on how much it was. Let's see here, because I do have the transaction ID. So instead of just hearsay, we're going to do a little bit of chain research here and find out. Yeah, it was 400,000. So apparently somebody sold 400,000 of PulseX and bridged to start mining with Titan. And we do have a transaction ID on that. And so let's do a little research and see, did this actually happen? So I've got this happening right now on Etherscan. Let me share that with you. Is the rumor true? It's basically what we're going to find out here. And I don't want to bore you guys to death with this, so I'm not going to go super, super deep. But right here we have, which supports the time. So yesterday, 1 day and 9 hours ago, we see that from PulseChain, foreign proxy. So basically right here, the ERC20 tokens from the PulseChain Omni Bridge to this wallet address, bridged over 357,200 and 727 stablecoin of DAI. That's a lot. And then we can go to this wallet which ends in 9C7. We'll just click on that. And let's, pay attention. First thing I see straight away is batchment. Let's click on that transaction and see what is he batchmenting. Is it Zen? What did I do wrong here? Maybe I'm not going to find out what he's batchmenting. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. 20 ETH. I know exactly what he's batchmenting. I just got to find the contract. All right, let's start that over. Batchment. Wow, he's done a lot of batchmenting. Safe execute, more batchments. There's going to be a contract code in there somewhere. So there's another way to find out the information. Yeah, let's see what this contract is. TitanX. Boom. Exactly right. So what I did there, in case you're curious, is this is the transaction where he did a batchment success. That's the wallet we've been looking at, the 9C7. And he did a 20 ETH batchment, which is $45,000 to this contract. And so I just simply click on that contract and it takes us straight to the TitanX. So boom. This guy bridged $357,000 out of PulseChain and is using that money to create miners on TitanX. So there's another thing we can do. So let's go over to the Dune dashboards, which I realize I'm going to have to show you this. Let me bump out of this. We got that information. So that has been verified. So the rumor is true. Let's take a look now. And I'm going to remove this. Let's go over to Mike Dean's Dune board. And we will see if we can find that wallet address on there. So we're going to share the Dune board here. And this is how we play these games, guys. This is the data we use to create our hypotheses and see what other people are doing. And, oh boy, I wonder if I'm going to be in the right one. TitanX future supply. No, I need to find the Dune data board that shows holders. This one doesn't show holders. Let's see. Miners code, TitanX community dashboard. I might have to. This might not be the best use of my time and your time. Darn it. I was so excited. I'll find it. I promise you I'll find it. Let's see here. Jake actually says, would love to hop on, but the Wi-Fi is crap here. I know that he's on vacation and he will be back to streaming in a few days. Perfect. Let me know when you're back in town. We'll do one of these. Wait, is that the real Jake Sharp in the chat? Why aren't you on stream? It's funny. Let's see. That's one brave soul bridging a huge sum amount like that at one time. I would have done it 100K at a time. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is brave, but maybe he knows what he's doing. What does this say? Sergey says PulseX is not user-friendly. Pulse is a ghost chain. Smart hexagons will move to TitanX. It's still early. I'm going to plead the fifth on that statement. Let's check out Etherscan. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So let me take a quick technical timeout here I want to see the, I know that it's in the group here, which tab shows where that is, because I'd like to show it. So let's see, what one is this? TitanX miner list. Okay, let's go see if we can find it. We'll just try to find it together. There's all sorts of fun stuff to talk about this morning. And let's see. Let's see. Keep your questions coming too while we got this going. Zen Crypto Deutschland. Kind of confused on what you're saying here. So we'll get back to that in a second. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Dune dashboards and see if we can't find the one that shows holders. And stake. Wow, there's a lot of dashboards now. Holy cow. And if I can't find it, I'll just reach out to my group. Maybe it's on here. Buy and burn. These are the addresses that have triggered the buy and burn. V2 buy. Okay, so not here. I was hoping this would be easier. TitanX miner dashboard. Yes, maybe this is it. Please be the right one. TitanX miner list. Okay. So let's see if we can see the biggest wallets here. Oop, there's a 9C7. We did it. Yes. It seemed like it took too long. Wow. He's the number 3 miner in all of TitanX right now. So this guy bridged this money over yesterday. And look at this, current spend 484,674. And it's interesting because the number 1 wallet, D5A, with the estimated quality of 1.6 trillion, TitanX, spent less than this gentleman that started yesterday. Now, why is that? Because he got in sooner, which is one of the biggest things that you need to pay attention to with TitanX. While you wait and do your research and kick the can down the road and see if you get community consensus and ask your buddies, you're losing out every day. Every day that you wait, it's going to cost you more and you're going to get less TitanX. And it is exponential. It happens very fast. We're a month in and we're already down 16 to 18% in terms of what you can produce with more money. It's crazy stuff. So this one guy, so we have found it. This rumor that's flying around that says somebody sold so much of whatever in the Pulse ecosystem and bridged it out and mined TitanX with it. It is 100% true. We have the Etherscan that shows the bridge funds coming out, and we have the data on TitanX Dune dashboard showing that exact wallet. Ooh, gosh, this is bad. Oh boy is the name, and that is correct. Oh boy. Another wallet sold 400K PLSX. Oh, let's see if I can copy that and see. Can I? No, why is it not letting me copy that? I can see it right there. I just want to copy the address. I can't seem to copy that right now. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that. Bummer. If somebody can send me a post the Etherscan transaction link in the comments, we could go it that way. Let's see this. Zen Crypto Deutschland. No need for all capitals, man. We're not yelling at each other. What is the comment that you put that you want me to read? I'll go up. I will play nicely. Here we go. Not one USD to Titan. Zen Crypto, stay your ground. All right. Thank you for being here. This isn't going to be a Zen shill session. I do appreciate your generosity, and I'm still wearing my Zen hat. I haven't given up yet. This is just right now. There's faster horses happening, so that's what I'm riding. But thank you for being here, because that brings me to this question from JD, which says, how is the liquid supply falling, but people are selling? Shouldn't the supply be going up? Confused on how this works. Okay, well, that's a good question, because I think a lot of people have similar confusions. How this works, the buy and burn, there's a couple different ways that the buy and burn works. And so it's always burning supply. So if people are selling and you're expecting the supply to go up, let me show you. There's a data point here that just kind of helps with this. So you don't have to trust what I'm saying. You can verify it with your own, do your own research. But the app .titanx.win, if you go to the top where it says tools, you can see, go to more where it says stats, statistics. Not only is there the user triggered buy and burn smart contract, but there's also the LP fees, which are burning TitanX in the background. So when TitanX was first launched, there was a smart contract that had a one-time mint of, I think, 100 billion TitanX. It was paired with Ethereum. And then that smart contract was put forward to provide liquidity. So LP means liquidity provider. There's lots of different ways that liquidity can be provided. Sometimes founders will use the fees that are earned for providing liquidity as a way to pad their pocket. And another way to do it is that those fees can be burned or destroyed forever. And so how Jake set this up is that all those liquidity fees are actually being burned. So more Titan is being burned. Every single time somebody buys Titan or somebody sells Titan, Titan is being burned. And that is completely independent of the buy and burn function, which, by the way, when you click the buy and burn function, it buys it off the market and burns it. And then all of the fees that the liquidity provider, being the smart contract, earned are also burned. So it's like a burn with a little bit more of burn in it. And 100%, that is the most I've ever said the word burn in that short of period of time in my life. But I hope that helps answer your question. It doesn't matter if people dump because they're burning Titan. And when it pumps, they're burning Titan. And the entire time, the buy and burn is burning Titan. So that's why the supply keeps going down. But the other thing to consider is that the liquid supply, which, by the way, holy crap, we've dropped below 8%. And the burn supply is almost 55%, 54.57. So, I mean, man, the data on this is just mind-blowing. The other reason why we're not seeing a ton of new supply coming to the market is because people are also staking their TitanX. So if you stake your TitanX, you get payouts, and your payouts are in the form of Ethereum, not TitanX. So you go up to the payouts tab. If you have staked TitanX, you will earn in the next payout, which happens to be in soon, 3 days. You'll earn your share of 259 ETH. And then on the 28-day payout, you will earn your share of 985 ETH. So there are so many games being played within this protocol. That's why you're not seeing a huge influx of supply onto the market. And right now we're going to go to more stats again. And currently liquid supply is 243 billion. This number doesn't change much. Even though there's so much more supply coming on the market every day, this liquid number doesn't change much because the buy and burn is just gobbling it up like a freaking forest fire in California. And the remainder is getting staked. And we see this liquid number just getting less and less and less every day. Hope that answered your question. Thank you for being here, JD. All right. Once again, way behind. Another wallet just sold. Okay. So Michael asks a question. Hey, CK, not only did this person mine a very big bag, he did it all max 280 days. Nice. So Michael, maybe I missed a data point on that Dune dashboard that you saw, or perhaps you know something else, but I believe you because I've also seen this data point elsewhere. So this gentleman that mined $484,000 worth of TitanX did it for max term. So he created 1.6 trillion max term. I'm sorry, say that a little slower. 1.6 million TitanX that isn't even going to hit the market for 280 days. So if you think, oh boy, here's a guy that's going to be dumping soon. Nope, he's not a problem. And the interesting thing about the bigger players in crypto is that that's how they tend to play. Some of them get in early and take their winnings and compound it to the future. Some of them just come into these new projects. They do the max term thing and they come back in 280 days. They don't even pay attention to little time streamers like me or daily charts or any of that type of crap. They just do their thing and they move on. Ryan Torres asks, what was my biggest takeaway from this weekend's masterclass? That I'm in the right place at the right time. Pretty clear? I think that was clear. Where can you buy the Zen hats? I like it very much. Looks cool. Thank you. I actually had this made myself. The Zen logo, which is available on Google, ironically, Jack, Google guy. And then there's a website called safarisun.com. Safari Sun does these leather patch hats. They use a Richards brand trucker cap, which is a very high quality brand. And you can order it whatever color you want. Like, it's really sweet. So you just go ahead and do that. I've reached out to them like 100 times to ask if I could be sponsored. And they've said no. But guess what? It's okay. I still give them business because it's a quality product. So let's see what else is going on. Data is out of the universe. Jake is an alien. Okay. That's hilarious. Jamie X. What's up, man? Glad you're here. What's up, Titans? Yeah, absolutely. Glad you are here. Again, tell me where you're from today. I've only seen a few. We're touching Thailand. We're touching the UK. I know we're in Hawaii, I'm pretty sure. But where else? Where else are we from today? Where else are we from? So what else do we have? I mean, we've been going at it for about 50 minutes. I think we've shared some pretty bullish data points. We've talked about, I guess if we were to talk about anything, it was my concern that had been addressed. Some questions have been asked about Zen. We talked about a little bit about Zen. The biggest takeaway from my class this weekend was I'm in the right place at the right time. I think Cryptographics is going to make a recording of that masterclass available. I'm not 100% sure. He mentioned the idea of that. And man, I can't tell you. First of all, number one, that dude's ability to do a deep dive on a project is second to none. And the comprehensive data that he showed was just like, wow. I thought I'd done a lot of research and I learned a lot. It might be worth your time. It's a lot. It was 6 hours, 2 days in a row. And I've got a lot of catching up to do. But ooh, yeah, crazy. So Denver, Colorado. What's up, BCAP? What's your favorite resort out there? I love Loveland. Loveland is great. Oh, we got Croatia in the house. We've got Arizona. Salute from Texas. Thank you for being here. Bobby, I know you're in Texas, but glad to see you here, man. David D says, is the buy and burn automatically triggered? No, it is not automatically triggered. You get to trigger it. So let's go to the buy and burn tab here and take a look. I don't have a wallet connected, so you can't see the exact appearance of what it will look like for you. But basically this big blue button, which is hard to miss, when it's ready to be triggered, once it's hit the 5-minute cycle, you can just click the blue button and it will trigger it. Now, I will tell you that it's going to cost you the Ethereum to trigger that buy and burn. So you're going to pay for the gas price to call that function. You will get a very little bit back from the contract. I think it's 0.33% of the ETH will go to you, but it doesn't cover the cost. So you're basically putting a little skin in the game for the community to trigger the button. The other thing that's super important here I want to share is it says use the MEV blocker IO RPC network when calling the buy and burn. By show of hands, somebody respond to me, please, in the chat. If you don't know what the MEV blocker is and why it's important, if you are willing to admit that, please tell me in the chat and I will tell you and show you why it needs to be done. I just want to see if someone's going to tell on themselves. We all know that the majority of the people have no idea what an MEV bot is and why it's important to do this, but I just want to see if someone's willing to be humble and say, I don't know how it is. Come on. You can do it. Let's see. I ski Heartland. Heck yeah. Or Loveland, excuse me. Patrick, while we're waiting for someone to tell on themselves, what are your thoughts of day 280? I don't think about it. So that's a very straightforward answer. A lot of people are focused on day 280 because there's going to be 1 trillion or so TitanX coming out onto the market on that day. 10,000 different variables could happen between now and then. So to be too worried about something that's going to happen 220 days from today is really just a waste of your mental energy. Riddle me this. What if the price of ETH is $7,000 and it costs 0.23 ETH to create a long-term miner and hypers come out and it's burned so much Titan that there's a very little bit of it on the market and the hyper price is going good and the TitanX price is going good. And there's 2 or 3 more projects that have been built on TitanX that are also going well. There could be a scenario where you are so excited to get your hands on your TitanX that it's a great thing. the natural inclination is to think negatively. Oh my gosh, everybody and his sister's got TitanX coming out. The price is going to dump into oblivion. You could go down that rabbit hole if you want, but I'm not going to. I think that there's so much happening in the next 220 days that, I've got miners coming out on that day, and I'm excited to see them. I am excited to see them. Don't get sandwiched. Okay, somebody's at least alluding to the fact that they know what's going on. Yep, I have not used MEV bot. I know a bit about them, but don't know how to use. Okay, perfect. Well, you don't want to necessarily use an MEV bot. What this is an MEV bot protector. So number one, what does MEV stand for? Maximum extractable value. It is a bot that is designed to extract as much value out of any given transaction as possible. So I will give you an example. I will not tell, I will show, so that way you believe me. And we're going to use the TitanX chart to do it. So let me bring this up on screen. And this is a pro tip. You want to be using this 100% of the time in the bull market, really, period. But I will show you why it's important. Some interesting comments coming in. So we're going to show you what a sandwich attack looks like. And you might have heard this. This isn't something you would see on the videos you found under your dad's bed when you were a kid. This is a way that bots take money out of the system. So let me verify that you can see my screen. Okay, you can see my screen. I'm even going to remove my ugly head here so you can really focus in on this. And I'm going to scroll down far enough. We might not actually find it in the TitanX because I think a lot of people have learned how to use. This is actually a good thing. Okay. Well, doggone it. I thought this was going to be easier. Oh, maybe I have the sandwich bots. Nope, I'm not hiding those. Doggone it. I wanted to show an example. Oh, here we go. Finally. Okay. Yay. We have an example. So if you look at this screen, I'm even going to zoom in on the screen a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to move it over. So on this buy and sell, hopefully we don't lose it as people keep, this is why it got sandwich attacked. Okay. So this red dot right here, see how when I scroll over it, it says drained 0.06 ETH, drained 0.06 ETH. So what happens is when you use just the regular Ethereum connection on your MetaMask or whatever wallet it is, it puts you into a public meme pool. I'm not going to define what a meme pool is right now, but it's just basically, imagine if all of the trades that people are trying to make are visible to the public to see before they're executed. And so what a MEV bot, which is maximum extractable value bot, does is it searches the public meme pool for transactions that haven't been executed yet. You know how when you click sell on Uniswap, it takes 10, 15, 20 seconds sometimes. That just sits there waiting for the validators to execute it. And an MEV bot can see that and they're like, oh, I can sell in front of or sell or buy, it depends on which is happening, in front of and behind that particular transaction and make money. So this person sold, and this wasn't a bot, this was a human. So anything that has this 3 or 4 yellow dots next to it is a bot. Anything that doesn't is just you and I making regular trades. So this knucklehead sold $39,000 of Titan, and he did not protect himself from an MEV bot. So what happened is this transaction sat in the public meme pool, and it only takes seconds. You know, it could have sat there for 5 seconds. It could have sat there for 10 seconds. It doesn't matter. And this sandwich bot saw it. So what he did is he sold a little bit before this transaction because he knew that this transaction was going to bring the price down even farther. And then he bought on the back end of it and was able to extract value. He was able to extract 0.0063 ETH by just paying attention to the fact that this guy put his transaction into the public pool. And so that's what a sandwich attack is. Somebody either buys in front of your buy and then sells behind your buy. That's more common. In this case, it was the opposite. He sold in front of this guy, so that way he was able to sell a little bit more, knowing that this huge sell was going to push the price down even more. And then he bought immediately on the backside where the price was down. And of course, the price just kept going up, 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 up. And he was able to sell again to extract value. So sandwich bots are bad news, especially when you're talking about a big sum of ETH, like in the V2 buy and burn. So I'm going to go up to the top here and see if we can see the public meme pool on this, because I know you can see right here. There's a button that says meme pool. I'm going to push it. Oh, it's not showing it right now. Just depends. Sometimes it shows it, sometimes it doesn't. But right now it's not showing the meme pool. Oftentimes when you look at DEX tools, you will see the meme pool, and then next to it, there'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the transactions that are waiting to be executed right here on this page. And so if you personally have a bot and you're watching that meme pool and you see somebody's about to buy, 10 ETH worth of TitanX, you could sandwich them manually. It's really hard to do. Don't even bother trying to do that. But that's what a sandwich bot is, and that's what we're trying to avoid with this MEV blocker. So how do you use the MEV blocker? Well, pretty straightforward. Let me share a tweet that actually Jake himself put out. And this is it. So we can see this tweet here. I can post a link to this tweet in the video description. But basically, it just says, this is the MEV protection best under the sun. It's the MEV blocker. It's simply a private node on Ethereum. So you click on this, it takes you to their website, and it shows you the RPCs to manually enter into your MetaMask. So how do you do that? Well, I don't actually have a way to show my MetaMask right now, but if you don't know how to do this, I'll make a video on it. It's really pretty straightforward to do, however. So you just want to add the MEV blocker URL to your, RPC to your MetaMask, and then make sure when you're doing a transaction, you're on that network, not the regular Ethereum network. You want to be on the MEV blocker. And for those of you that trade meme coins, here's why this is important. If you set your slippage too high on Uniswap and you are not using an MEV blocker, you will get front run, which means a sandwich bot. Someone's going to buy in front of you. They're going to let you push the price up, and then they're going to sell behind you. So when you see that warning in Uniswap where it says your slippage is too high, you might get front run. That's exactly what's going to happen, is you're going to get sandwich attacked. If you're using an MEV blocker or the MEV blocker, you can set your slippage at 50%. Because it's done in a private pool where these bots can't see your transaction until after it's executed. So one of the biggest challenges of buying meme coins early is that there's huge fluctuations in price. And so you go into Uniswap, you try to hit, buy, and it'll repopulate. It'll say, oh, there's a new price. And you hit buy, and it'll repopulate. And you just keep going through this, and you'll see the price of this coin going up, 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 and you're just missing it. You're like, what the heck? I'm trying to buy it. It's because the slippage is so high. The price is moving so fast that it's going away from your acceptable range of slippage with that purchase. So with the MEV blocker, you can set your slippage at 50%. You can even set it at 100%. Then you might say that's stupid. There's reasons why to do it. But yeah, so you can set your slippage a lot higher, and that enables you to catch a meme coin as the price is going up quickly and not get sandwich attacked, which is really pretty cool. It makes all the world of difference. So there you go. There's the reasons why you need to use the MEV blocker. And based on what some people are saying in here, I will probably just make a video on it. So let's see. Hexatitan Pulskin, great stream. Thank you for being here. Appreciate the videos you made the other day, clipping out some of our content with Jake and Joe Perry and Perry's, and a few others. So appreciate that. Let's see. Z-Bar says, good explanation. I get more of it now. However, I think it's meme pool as in memory pool, not pronounced as meme pool, mem pool. Oh, you're absolutely right. I'm an idiot. Thank you for pointing that out. Great job breaking it down as always, Crypto Kindness, aka Jeff. Yes, my name is Jeff. It's not a secret name. It's just my name. Let's see. What are your thoughts on long-term TitanX after hyper launch? What is Jake's plans to have others build on TitanX? Well, Jake has built into the code a 8%. I'm gonna call it the wrong thing, but it's 8% something developer fee, burn fee. I can't remember what it's called, but there is a fee that enables builders to build on TitanX for them to collect some of the TitanX that is produced if their protocol is built on top of it. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm not a developer, but basically to make a confusing topic not so confusing, there is a little bit of a carrot that's dangled in the code that entices people to want to build on TitanX. So that's what his plans are, to have others built on TitanX. He gave them a why. Let's see. What are my thoughts long-term on TitanX after hyper launch? It's going to be exciting. I don't know. Like, the hyper dynamics could change things so drastically that it could be, could be fascinating, or it could fall on its face. Like, the reality is we just don't know until it's released into the wild, and then we see. The most important thing about your plan is planning for the plan to not go as planned. So everything that I've heard and talked to about people with hyper is super exciting, but we just don't know how it's going to respond in the marketplace. So we'll see. And that's part of the reason why I shared earlier my 1/3, 1/3 strategy, is because it puts me in a position to capitalize on every single event that happens. If the whole thing goes to hell in a handbasket, then I've always been taking profits out. If staking ends up being the best play, then I'm always staking. If hyper ends up being a great play, then guess what? I've got a lot of TitanX staked to play hyper. If everybody leaves the staking pool to burn for hyper, then I've got some TitanX staked, and my share of the ETH pays out goes up. If hyper ends up being the token with the most value, then I've got hyper because I'm staking currently to burn for hyper. See where I'm going with this? And if TitanX does a 10,000x or a 55,000x, which it's designed to do, that's kind of what I'm saying now. Jake will never say that, but that's what I'm saying. Then I also have long-term TitanX coming out. So the kindness 1/3, 1/3 strategy puts you in a position to capitalize on any single event that happens. So that's my thoughts. Let's see. Crypto undercover agent. Have you asked Jack what he do with all the gas fees you pay to mint all of his worthless token? I assume this is a Zen comment. And no, I haven't asked Jack that, and I don't know that I will. Zen fees, it just burned Ethereum. It didn't go into Jack's pocket. That's a common misunderstanding. Could everyone hold both of us? Okay. Bot made $16. Yeah, and the example I gave, the bot only made $16. And of course, a lot of people say, why do they do that? It's not a human. A human isn't sitting there just clicking the button hoping to make $16. They spent the time and the money to create the bot, and the bot just works for them. So whoever's probably out on the beach drinking a Mai Tai, and meanwhile he's making $16 every 2 minutes from the 1,000 of bots that he put out there. He's doing pretty well. So that's why those exist. All right. Any other questions coming in? I probably ought to wrap it up and get about my life. But as always, man, it always shocks me. An hour and 8 minutes later, and we're still hammering out questions here. You guys are the best. I appreciate you being here. We tickled 100. Actually, we're right now 151 people here. A random Monday morning. I appreciate you. Yeah, I think that's it. Greetings from Poland. Greetings from Poland. Great that you're here. We have a dedicated TitanX community here. Awesome. Cola 3D, that's fantastic. Revo says, TitanX community is growing fast. Every other Twitter post is TitanX. It kind of feels that way. And I mean, if you really want to get excited, the fact that I came from the kind of Hex Richard Hart community where it was always been so taboo to talk about anything else. And now I can tell you I'm in several private groups where it's 90% RH people, and they're all talking about TitanX. A lot of them won't talk about it publicly, and I'm not going to give any names before you ask me who. And then we're also starting to see it kind of slowly but surely come out on Twitter that people are like, okay, you can't ignore this. I mean, it's as much as you want to carry a banner for something else, sometimes you just can't ignore something. So let's see what else. Crypto Ninja. I mean, a ninja. That's awesome. I wish I was a ninja. Happy holidays, he says. Thank you. And the same to you and your family. Appreciate you being here. God. Let's see. Orion says, Queaton, I assume question. I don't see your question though, so if you'd like to ask it, please do. Price predictions for TitanX? No, I don't do the price prediction game. I used to do that. I thought it was fun, and of course it's bullish and it creates people to click on my links, but I don't do price predictions anymore. I've been wrong so many times, and I'll be wrong again. Nobody knows. Let's see. I see what's happening here. This person is bad news. Let's see. Gala Music just launched. If you want to diversify, take profits from music, short-term pump, and buy more TitanX miners. David D, thank you for sharing that. Right now I'm focused on this. There's so much information to learn and understand here. Diversification is good to some extent, but only if you can manage it within your focus. And I've got my focus maxed at this point. Appreciate that though. I hear there are tons of bots on PulseChain. Perhaps, I don't know. One of the frustrating things about PulseChain is that there's not, for the average guy, like there's not a lot of Telegram bots or anything like that to check comments on and stuff like, not comments, contracts, to check contract addresses against and all that. So the people that are good at coding, I'm sure that they have built a lot of bots. I'm just not one of them. Let's see. Revo says, have you seen the calculator? I have. I don't have a link to it right now, or I would post that because that calculator is pretty sweet. If you have the link, email it to me or hit me up in Twitter DMs, and I'd be happy to post it on the video description here. Let's see what else. Last but not least, Shaka Vibes. Going to bring PTGC into the comments. It's a great project that takes advantage of the bots for your own back. That is correct. PTGC is pretty freaking awesome. It's kind of built off of the lessons learned from the Atropa ecosystem on PulseChain, and it leverages the bots to push the price up for you. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. There you go, bro, for the calc. I must have sent it to me somewhere else. Let me just take a quick check my messages, see where that came. Where did you send it? Tell me where you sent it, and then maybe I can bring it up on stream here as the coup de grace, last thing we do before we take off. So Crypto Ninja, let me know where you sent that, please. Is there an MEV blocker RPC for PulseChain? No, there should be. In the chat. I'm not seeing it in the chat, my friend. I don't see a link anywhere. Media Express, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Much love to you as well. Arkham, you'll find out what it's doing already. Don't know what that's based on. What are your thoughts on Genesis? What do you think this will be used for? I don't know. My thoughts on Genesis are, we've known about it since day one. Jake has been very clear that it exists. It's 3% of, I think, everything TitanX and ETH that goes into the miners goes to the Genesis wallet. Really anything could happen with that. I mean, if he wanted to use that as payment for creating a great token, that's an option. If he's going to use that funds to incentivize developers, that's an option. If he's going to use that funds to incentivize price, that's also an option. The reason why it doesn't bother me, I know it bothers some. It doesn't bother me because it's been very clear from day one that it exists. It is in the white paper. And you know that. Like if you read the white paper, you know the 3% Genesis wallet exists. You made a decision moving forward that you wanted to participate, knowing that that's there. And so whatever it does at this point, it's fine. It's in the game because it was explained in the rules on the front end. I don't know what it's going to be used for. My guess is, Jake tweets often about winning is the only acceptable thing. And so how do you win? Well, price go up. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's used in some way, shape, or form to help the price. But as soon as we assume on those type of things, we mess up. Let's see. Ben says, I guess we don't talk about the Genesis. No, I just did. I know you were probably typing that comment before I did, though. So, yeah, I mean, Z-Bar gives a lot of examples here. It could be used to create new LPs. For token launches, it could be numerology, things that we don't know. It's like there's a lot of ways it could be used positively as well. So Mike Dean, the man, the myth, the legend, is in the chat. Thank you for being here, Mike. And in fact, since you're here, I want to do one more quick sneak peek at what's happening on Dune. This is a data point I forgot to get at today. So let's go to your beautifully built Dune dashboard. The one, the only Mike Dean TitanX community dashboard. And this is a data point I wanted to look at. Juicy, juicy. Look at this, guys. Saturday, what is this today? What day are we on today? Oh, snap. Okay, this is interesting. So yesterday was the, not quite, very close to one of the biggest days of new miners for TitanX. 5,032 miners were started yesterday at the cost of 975 ETH. And then today already, this morning, 2,918 new miners at the cost of 562 ETH. So yesterday and today, we're seeing more adoption happening with people creating miners. So this is a really fun data point to look at when you're talking about TitanX. Is this Dune dashboard, and it tells you everything you need to see. We're seeing, no, that isn't, here we go. So in the next couple of days, the 12th, the next 2 days, we don't have too much Titan coming out. And then it starts to ramp up a little bit as we get closer to this 21st. And the reason why there's so much on the 21st is because on the 22nd, we have another big payout, another 28-day payout. So as expected, there is more supply coming out, ramping into that. But this is a fantastic dashboard if you all are not using it. This is the Dune dashboard built by, excuse me, Mike Dean. So there we go. I think that was a good morning. Anybody else think that was a good morning? Let me know. Stop the screen. All right. Mike Dean for president. Yeah, I think so. I like that. Yeah, Orion says, I like PTGC as well. You do. So this is another thing. You have to set your slippage at 6% actually to buy it because it is a tax token. And that's the other thing is if a token has tax on it, it's 5% tax. You got to set your slippage at 5% in order to be able to buy that. And then you start running the risk of MEV bot attacks. Shaka Vibes coming in. Last thing here with a very generous super chat. Thank you very much. Always learning from CK. Grateful for the insights on the MEV bots. My pleasure, sir. I'm happy to help you with that if you need. I will be making a tutorial video. It seems like this is something that people need to learn more about. I wish there was an MEV bot protector on PulseChain. There might be. We could always ask David Feeder. He seems to be one of the devs that is in the know. Z-Bar says, a wonderful morning. Cookies and crypto. TitanX to the moon. Thank you for being here. LFG. Making more miners soon. Absolutely. Someone says send Mike Dean a case of wine or steak or crab legs for all the work he's doing. Yeah, I agree. Mike Dean has brought a lot of value to TitanX. So you know what? There's a, is it advisable to mint, to buy or to mint? Somebody else answer that question. I can't answer that question. That's financial advice. Can't give you that. It's advisable to do some math. run the math on how much you could buy for 0.2 ETH and how much you could mint for 0.2 ETH. That's a better answer. Just do the math. And if you want to do a calculator on that, let me help you out there. I appreciate you being here. Talk to me. Let's do this. So we're going to go to the, this is app.titanx.win. This is the user interface. We go to tools, we go to calculator. And right on the calculator right here, it says TitanX win mining right there. So one miner at a miner length, it doesn't matter what the length is. That doesn't affect the price of the miner. It just affects how much TitanX you get. So right now, 0.207 ETH, if you did a max power, you don't have to do a max power. Let's say you only got 0.1 ETH. So you want to do a 50 power, so 0.104 ETH. Miner length of 280 days is going to yield you 732 million TitanX, and that doesn't include adoption bonuses, T-rank bonuses. You'll actually get more than that. And there is a calculator that's out there in the ether that will help you better understand those numbers. I don't have it available to me right now. Now, if you did a 45-day miner, you're going to get a little bit less, 159 million. If you did a 30-day miner, 108 million plus T-rank bonuses. So you can use this tool, the calculator on the website, to figure out where your money is best spent. If you are interested in participating in this protocol, do you want to spend 0.1 ETH creating a miner? And how much is that going to create you over time? Or do you want to just go and see how much you can buy with a market buy of 0.1 ETH and have it right now? I will tell you, if you're going to do the right now choice, be well aware that there's a lot of people that have been doing a lot of mining and there's supply coming on the market. So your purchase today will be diluted, which is something you have to take into consideration when participating in any mining type of crypto. Let's say living in Norway. So I'm planning to send him some crab cakes. Ooh, I've got an address. I like crab cakes. How accurate is the stake calculator? I've heard someone mentioning today that 4x on what the calc shows is more realistic. I'm trying to understand the stake game more in depth. I answered this already, but since it's an hour and 25-minute stream, I'll give you one quick example. What somebody said about the 4x is actually relatively accurate, and I'll show you the why behind that. When we go to TitanX staking calculator, I'm just going to use the arbitrary number of 500 million. So that's not unrealistic to have if you started a miner some months ago. And so a couple things you need to be aware of. Number one is your stake length. If you do short-term lengths, it drastically reduces the amount that you get. So a 45-day stake length shows a 26.58 ROI, whereas a 2888 shows a 113% ROI. And of course, if you stake for 2,888 days, you have to wait that long before you get your TitanX back. But that's also why Hyper is coming out. That's a whole nother conversation, but you can turn your stake into a liquid sellable product with Hyper in the future. We will get details surrounding that soon. But the reason why it's more like 4x is because the calculator only calculates the one next available payment. So the next 8-day payment, the next 28-day payment, and the next 90-day payment. Well, if you staked yours for 181 days, you would get 10 8-day payouts, you would get 3 28-day payouts, and you would get 2 90-day payouts. So you would continuously get more payouts that are not built into this calculation. So it is somewhat difficult to calculate an exact number. In fact, you're never going to get an exact number because the payouts are also dependent upon how many people are mining, how many other people are staking, how many other people are staking full term versus short term. There's a dozen of different variables that change this number daily or by the minute. So you have to just kind of think through it, use the Dune dashboard to pull off some averages, use the information in front of you to get some suggested ideas. And that's how you do it. It's only as good as in the medical device world, there's a saying that says crap in, crap out. If you've got crap information and you put it in your calculator, you're going to get a crappy answer. I'm not saying that this is a crappy calculator, but the information is incomplete. So for this particular example, it's incomplete in, incomplete out. Incomplete information into your calculator, you get incomplete data as a result. So this is basically a good place to start doing your own research and data points such as Mike Dean's Dune dashboard, as well as several of the other Dune dashboards, make it available for you to at least have a good idea of what's going on and what's coming and build a strategy surrounding that. So even Jake says staking turned out way better than I could ever have expected. Yeah, me too. I'm pretty happy with staking. So let's see. Talk to me, Mike. I wasn't expecting to get that from you. Well, I'm glad that you did. That's the whole point of my channel. Kindness, my friend. I want to help people out. So with that being said, I always love to end on the peak end rule. The two things that you remember the most about any given event is the peak fun, the peak whatever during that event, and then the end. So if you can end on a peak, then it's a great experience. And that's exactly what we had. Thank you for being here this morning. I hope this answered some of your questions. Hit me up if you would like to see this be a Monday morning type thing. I love it. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying y'all's company. The questions are fantastic. The product is amazing. And as we continue to learn, we continue to get better together. So with that, everybody, have a wonderful day. You are appreciated. And again, if you haven't done so already, just click the subscribe button. It helps me help you. We're in it together. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.